Hey, good evening to everyone. Good afternoon and good morning, depending on where you are joining from. It's a virtual world, so I think anything will be fine. It is a really a great pleasure to actually talk about some things which we feel very passionate about, and I hope everyone is staying safe. And let's hope that the current pandemic situation is going to move on very fast, and we all can start working from our offices, and we all can start traveling and meeting each other anyway. So I'm here today. So I'm Tinku. I'm here today along with my colleague Sindhu in talking about product engineering mindset. So just to introduce Sindhu, Sindhu leads our artificial intelligence center of excellence at Quest. She's instrumental in providing some of the cutting edge AI solutions to customers and some of the end users also, through some of the customers to end users as well. Many years of experience in product realization involving AIML across industries, and she has won many awards and recognition, in Quest as well as in industry. And one of the recent one was the industry recognition where she was recognized as a woman role model in ER&D by NASCOM last year. So it's really a privilege to have Sindhu along with me here. Welcome, Sindhu. And about myself, I'm Tinku. Fortunate to work on multiple product launches in consumer and automotive IoT spaces across the globe. Gained good understanding of product lifecycle, and how the product engineering lifecycle and process, working with leading product managers and engineering minds around the world. And in Quest, I lead the Center of Excellence for Embedded Product Engineering. Uh, and in my role, I'm really fortunate to work with some of the brightest technical minds in Quest, like Sindhu and many of them. A lot of learning from them. So in the next half an hour or so, what we will be discussing about is actually developing a product engineering mindset, its importance, and some pointers around it. In fact, so let me not take much time. So what I will do is that maybe would like to hear from Sindhu on, from a conceptual view, what is product engineering mindset, and how it is, what it is basically. That's the most important aspect.
Firstly, thanks Tinku for that nice introduction of me and for the kind words you have said. Really privileged to be part of this session along with you. And a warm welcome to all who have joined this session on product engineering mindset, a very relevant topic in today's world. So let me try to share my view on this topic. Being engineers, we design and build solutions based on requirements from customers and end users. We choose the right technology, best processes, and the best team and execute the project. But in spite of all this, sometimes projects do fail. And one of the main reasons for this is everything is thought in the project context or project mindset. Instead of that, what if we focus on the holistic picture and the roadmap? So this change of thought process itself automatically brings customer or the end user at the center, and every decision for the product will be based on how it impacts customer experience. So if you look at it from an individual engineer's perspective, it helps in connecting the day-to-day tasks to a much bigger picture, which increases the value of what he or she is doing. From a management perspective, it is not just about time or scope or cost. It is about proactiveness, innovation, customer satisfaction, and introspection. So, conceptually, product engineering mindset has customer focus and customer satisfaction as the highest priority, and it unifies cross functional teams and elevates the team in engineering excellence as well as in bringing value to our customers.
Oh, great. That's a nice way to put it. And actually, for me, it's about engineers showing a lot of interest in product itself beyond the execution and assigned task. No, it is a lot of assigned tasks will be there. It is beyond that. It is like an understanding, trying to understand, and that's something which is clear. Second one is, uh, you know, also trying to figure out how decisions are made in a product. It is about, the reason is that, at some point they themselves are going to get plugged into those decisions, in fact. So that is the another view of it. And now to figure out whether you have it already in you, it is very, the people keep telling, it's about, you are working on a product or a project or whatever it is, and it is involved in a larger set of a product, and assume that when that product goes live or some positive feedback comes from the market or from people who are using it, you get a kick. And or when there is a not a great feedback, and you feel like you'll have a sleepless night trying to figure out why. If you have that, I'm pretty sure that you will have that mindset, in fact. So that's something which is, from my view, in just a high level view. And in the meantime, I guess, if anyone who's participating and listening to this, if you have any questions, please do type it, and we will try to cover those as much as possible, in fact. And that brings to the next point, is very basically, now, what difference product engineering mindsets bring into picture? And we talk about engineering excellence and all of those. So, how can we relate engineering excellence and product engineering mindset, Sindhu?
Yeah. Tingo, I think the main differentiator is that we are not trying to think of a single task here, but the actual problem as a whole and how the task fits in that whole problem. That's the main difference. Now, this broader understanding of the product helps to think effectively and innovatively. And for the customer or the end user, this ultimately results in a better product. And that is the best advantage you can give to your customer. Now, this in turn results in building prototypes which help customers to test the waters, understand the risks, take the decision in such a way so as to get the best ROI. And we may also solve the task differently to bring more value if we know exactly how it contributes to the whole problem. So it can even change the way in which the teams assemble and work to get the results faster and also with quality. So it is a way which we adapt based on needs that's actually making the biggest difference here. Coming to the second point, that is when we try to relate engineering mindset and product engineering mindset, the key points that come to my mind are, the first one is proper planning. That is what to prioritize, which feature to estimate, how fast it can be brought to production, and the good technical debts. And apart from this, our engineering values, attitudes, and thinking skills should also be aligned to bring value to the customers or end users. Now, having said this, naturally, the next question is like, what are all the qualities to look for, or rather, we should have to, in order to bring in this mindset in our teams. So, Tinku, what in your opinion is, or these qualities which we should have in order to have this mindset?
That's an interesting point. In fact, I would have loved to have all of these with me. I need to really look at myself, and I've been doing that all along, trying to see where I am, where I'm not. Anyway, but from an engineering perspective, from an engineer, the most important part is to see. Uh, you need to ensure that, or you need to feel that your idea is important. And if you are raising their idea and it's not heard, most of the times we leave it there. Now that's not something which we should do. One of the first thing is that you should be persistent, basically. And you should be, if you really feel strong about it, collect more data, go back with those data and say that this is the reason which I feel that the idea is important. And if it's needed more, you should surely try to do a POC and then try to convince it. And in fact, one of the examples which I always quote is that, recent means, maybe a year back, when I was working with a customer, the product engineer, one of the product engineer who became the product manager very fast. The reason was that she had an idea and she took it to the one level, next level. She even took it to the board level, and it was thrown out. Sort of, no, this will not happen. What she did was next was the most important thing. Of her time in the evenings, she and her colleagues, they all got together, created a prototype with whatever they could get, and 6 months later, it took 6 months. It's gonna be simple. 6 months later, they went out with the prototype and actually talked to the same team, and the next day it was approved. And it was approved by none other than the CEO, and CEO became the brand champions for that, actually. That is what it is. That's the way You have to. And also, it's not about being arrogant. It is about how to put that very well. So for this, you need to put yourself in customer's shoe. So that's the next big quality. And we all talk about Amazon, whether it is actually the empty chair in any of the meetings which Amazon executives sit in, or the backward, thinking backward, working backward, or a lot of executives working in the customer support every once at least one day a year. These are all examples of how customers are, the importance of customers. So you have to do that. Then you have to take ownership. I think since you already mentioned about it, you have to take ownership, and that's something which comes. And you have to figure out how what is right. The right, it's like putting salt to a dish. Whether it is more or less, it's not going to be, but it comes with experience, and experience is not just coming with years. It is about trying out and identifying, and not to make the same mistakes again. In fact, and understanding the importance of engineering process and all of those. In fact, so I always I always say one point, whenever you talk about production, Steve Jobs, nowadays Elon Musk is also there, but Steve Jobs used to be considered as the some of the most innovative person, in fact, and he talks about design, and I think the way he tells is that design is a funny word. People think that design means how it looks, but in his view, it is not about how it looks. If you really look at it, it is understanding of how it works. So you need to have that level of understanding to do that actually.
Thanks, Tinku, for bringing that motivating and inspiring example first, and then bringing in the examples of Steve Jobs and Elon Musk. Along with that, I would also like to add to just a few points. That is, you should always, you just don't have to settle for getting a specification from the customer and jumping to implement it. You can also try to identify the flows that could be inherent in current specification, think of alternatives that might work better, and discuss that within the team. And you should also be able to evaluate engineering trade offs and product trade offs. Sometimes a completely different feature could be suggested which has the same product impact but with considerably smaller engineering effort. So I think there is a very interesting question in the chat box. It is, while it is a great thing, what are the challenges in aligning to product engineering mindset? Do you want to answer that, Tinku?
Oh, it's an interesting one. In fact, yeah, this is what I try to figure out myself when I want to do something. Um, if you look at it, what is the alternatives? You have project mindset, which you have a project to do, and how it is. And if you really look at it in a midterm or a short term, you project engineering mindset will be really good to solve a problem. It will have better visibility in that that much time. It can be better managed. So whereas product engineering mindset, it takes time, and you need to have that. The next one is that trust. Trust between roles, trust between people is very very critical in product engineering mindset to have that. And it's not easy. It's very easy to say, but it is very hard to do or practice that. And it will. While the next point which I'm gonna talk about might be controversial, it is gonna take out the hierarchy, red tapeism, and all. Everyone feels that yeah, it's nice. It's a good thing, but in practice it is very difficult to let go authority. Even and personally I also have the problem, and you will have the false sense of authority, I would say, that end of the day. And so these are the things, very very easy to say but hard to implement. And most importantly, transparent communication you should be, but it all comes back to trust anyway again. So I
Yeah.
think that's where I think that some of the challenges, I would say. It's not, there are many more, but I think, let's leave it there so that people will try to at least jump and try to do that product engineering mindset.
Yeah. Apart from that, having the right team is also one of the challenges. The team should be a blend of domain and technology experts, especially in the engineering domain, who can clearly understand the customer's business. Another challenge could be the capacity and capability to deliver fast, especially in the area of new technologies and in when the technology is very dynamically evolving. You should also like run fast. You should be able to learn, unlearn, and adapt quickly. So we should take measures to address these also, I think. And Tinku, this is something which I'm very keen to know from you, and I'm sure it would interest our viewers too. You are from the embedded engineering domain and has the experience in working with many famous product engineering customers. So I would like to know how you inculcate this mindset in your team.
Oh yeah. I would start from there. The first thing is that the first thing to change, in my view, is that my team. There is nothing called my team. It is about our team, or that is the first thing I'll try to see. A team is everyone. Everyone is equal. There might be first among the equals and all of those, but let's not worry about it. But that's the first thing I would try to change. When I say I try to change, it's always difficult, and because you will have personal relationship and all of those. It's very difficult. But that's something which can be looked into. The second one is about, we keep hearing resources everywhere, and unfortunately we are talking about engineers, and it's all about, these are the people or unique personalities, and we refer them as resources. The moment you talk about resources, it can be changed. You can just replace them, which is not right. I think that's the second thing you need to be looking at. If you're a leader, if you want to be a good one, please do think engineers as unique personalities rather than just resources. Now, another thing which we all do, or at least I have done, is once I have a plan, I'll try to adhere to the plan, which is a very good thing from a project perspective. But the moment you are looking from a product perspective, it should be able to adapt to what our customer needs. Agile is an example of how it is getting done, and we talk about it. And fixed start to end. Okay, this is the start time, this is the end time, this is what it is. To we evolve. So that these are the thing need to be done. And one of the other thing which we always debate is, try not to fail. Deliver right first time. To that's a good thing to have, but what is the first time is something which we need to define. So deliver, try not to fail, to fail fast and improve. It's like rapid prototyping and all of those, in fact. So these are the things which I would really look at it. And as a lead, one of the learning, or one of the thing which I could learn from the people whom I work with, or my role models, are that you should remove all the blame from the failures. The reason why failure is taken as a negative or a taboo is because you attach blames. Now, instead of that, consider this an avenue to learning, but ensure that the same failure is not committed, and that is where the most important thing. You should learn, your team should learn, and at product level, that learning should come, and at an org level, when it comes, you can tell that the organization is actually product engineering mindset enabled, in fact. So that is what the most important thing I would say, or things which we can do in my
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Tinku, especially in the case of like the art team concept and the points which you said about the failures, how to understand why it did not work, doing the root cause analysis and learning from failures. Along with that, I feel we should also stay up to date in dynamically evolving technologies, project lifecycle methods, coding paradigms, frameworks, follow better engineering practices, and continuously innovate because you can improvise day after day, and innovation does not have an end, also.
And you learn always also.
Yeah, correct.
Interesting. I think I just saw an interesting question which you might be the best person to answer, Sindhu. Better than me, at least for sure. uh, so this is about Quest, and the question is about, is product engineering mindset practiced in Quest, and or how it is, there is initiative, or how it is getting cultivated, and how it is done, basically.
Of course, Tingo, I would love to answer that question. So, as we discussed earlier and mentioned many times, the team should be able to put themselves in customers' shoes so that they understand what the customer wants and then provide the right kind of value and beyond. So, that's the main point in the case of product engineering mindset, which is also called user empathy. So in Quest, our delivery managers as well as technical managers urges the teams to understand the customer's vision and motivate the team to come up with proactive ideas. Often we try to understand the latest technology trends and communicate this information to the customer in their review meetings. And it is also not just about putting ourselves in customers' shoes and suggesting ideas. We should also seek their feedback, their reviews, what has gone wrong somewhere. So the team gets proper course correction, and the product can be brought out in a much faster fashion. Sharing of knowledge and mentoring junior engineers are always encouraged by the managers. And to make our engineers ready for this mindset, we have upskilling and cross skilling programs, innovation challenges, hackathons, technology demonstrator projects, etc. So, all this actually help to cultivate this habit of product engineering mindset in Quest.
Oh yeah, I think I would actually support every word or every line you have mentioned, every points you have mentioned, because I have seen it, and it's been a brief journey for me at Quest still, but still I have seen that the good things what you mentioned already, and uh, one of the other thing which I have seen is that at Quest, each engineer feels the project they work or the product they work for the customer, they take it as theirs, and I've seen that they go the mile, extra mile, to ensure that it has been addressed or whatever things. And I have seen people having sleepless nights just because a customer mail came and immediately they can't respond, and it is like oh, it's like I need to respond to that, so lot of good things, and with a really good a spectrum of things which we can do, whether it's the mechanical engineering side of it or the electronics, the software, the digital, and automation. We think from in my view, we work in pretty much end to end, and I guess that really gives us that what do you call the right ingredients to jump towards it. And I'm seeing a lot of things, and this is helping me also to inculcate some of these qualities which we discuss, as well as trying to do with the team and things like that. So I guess that is what I would say. And for me, if you ask what what it is, if you ask me to put one line for why that uh, you know product engineering mindset is needed, the way I would say is that primary difference which I have seen is that this always I'll tell to not in the product engineering mindset or any context, but you know engineers, they are humans. They are at different levels, doesn't matter what level it is. They are unique individuals, they have their own motivation, they have personalities. They are not interchangeable resources. This is the first and foremost, because I've seen this happening in multiple places, in many places, over the years. In fact, in some of the product companies also, they have seen that happening. And that's something which, with product engineering mindset, you will appreciate engineers as unique individuals. And a lot of things can happen. Second one, the mindset change. It cannot be achieved overnight. If someone says that, yeah, I want to be a product engineer, I want you to have a product engineering mindset tomorrow, it's not going to happen. It's like I'm right now maybe in my 90s in my weight, I want to get to 75. It will not happen in one day. You need to have proper planning. You need to see how I need to exercise, I need to diet, and there are 10,000 things I need to do to ensure that I reach there. It is like that. And it is a top down approach or a bottom up approach is not going to help me. Just because my boss says, yeah, you need to have it, it will not happen. Just because my team is having it, I can't have it. It should be, in my view, if an organization does, and I think that's where Quest is rightly approaching it in a lot of ways. Try it vertically in one or two of the teams, show that is working, and that will become a trigger or catalyst to get into the other places. So, and then horizontally scale. When we talk about scaling, is always vertical, but at least try to horizontally scale. And there is no secret sauce for it. You can actually, you need to. There is nothing like one shoe will never fit everyone's feet. Basically, it's like that. Each situation has to be taken accordingly. And to conclude from my point of view is that while this is for the engineers, and and everyone is an engineer including me, and I guess from that perspective, while focusing on your core technology, because you will be good at some a few of the areas and few of the industries, just don't just don't limit yourself, or you should always look at adjacent technologies that it will help you in enhancing the skills. Also understand what it is needed, interact with other other industries, or how the technology used there can be taken to your industry, or whatever technology you are using can be taken there, and vice versa. Basically, that's something which we can always look into. These all things which will surely broaden your mindset in a horizon, and it will surely open new doors for you, for sure. That's another advantage of having it. But I think that will actually be the first step in the product engineering mindset, because these are the few things which I think we can do, basically. And that's what I would mention, Sindhu. And I think that's what my feeling is.
Yeah. I also consider this mindset or this thought process of thinking for the customers that needs to be inculcated in all engineers, and the engineers should, like, they should try themselves to have all the qualities which we had discussed earlier: thinking for the customers, how to learn, relearn, adapt, how to take risks, how to perform when there are failures, all these details. So they should like try to cultivate these qualities, and when it becomes the mindset of the whole team, it becomes a growth catalyst, and this will help the team to strive in any complex situation, making them willing to improve, learn, as well as adapt. And ultimately, all this leads to more value to customer and improves customers' confidence in us. And I would like to take an example also here. Some of our customers may to embark on their journey in digital transformation, but they can have apprehensions because there are a plethora of open source software, new hardware products, then so many technology terms like containerization, serverless architecture, CI, DevOps, AI, AR, VR. It is at this stage that product engineering can add value. It will automatically come up with best options to charter an efficient digital transformation journey to success. So I think we have come to the end of this session. Thanks, Tinku, for all the information you have
Thank you.
shared and your experiences in the product engineering space. Thank you, viewers,
And
for
thank you.
joining us in this session.
Yeah, I think it has been a really nice interaction, and thank you very much. And I would like to thank everyone. And yeah, stay safe. That's a mantra right now. And do great. And till next time, thank you very much.
Thank you.